Alright, we are on page 33 in our math books. We're in lesson 3, session 1. And we are working on rounding with whole numbers. So just rounding. Nothing too crazy. So starting work, or warm-up work. Between which two thousands is 6,879? Well, between what two thousands is it between? Spencer, what's the one that's which one is it lower?
7,000 is the highest, so I'd say 5,000 is lower.
So 5,000 is the low one.
And
What's the high one?
7,000.
Dallas?
7,000.
It's 7,000, yes.
I
I know, but I wanted just one from you, not both of them. I don't know where that went. Okay. So that is between not 5,000, between 6,000 and 7,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one question.
Yes.
What are you doing, Alfred?
Oh, he's getting his clicker moving.
I'm getting my clicker out.
Oh.
So he can move the
Is it
screen.
still recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
I hate it. Hello?
Alright, so a toothpaste company surveys 36,219 customers about their favorite toothpaste flavor. The data is used to help the company decide what flavor to continue making. To the nearest thousand, about how many customers does the company survey? So you are doing that rounding problem.
So we round to the highest number?
To the nearest thousand.
Okay.
You're rounding that number to the nearest thousand. Nearest thousand, not nearest 10,000. Not nearest thousand, not the nearest 10,000. That's the nearest 10,000. Nearest thousand, nearest, I don't know what you did.
Am I right?
Right. No, you didn't.
Do you guys have like
Yeah, but you gotta put the whole number down. You don't just put 6,000. I'm not looking for the space bar, I'm looking for the nearest thousand. I'm not there. I got it right now.
Thank you very much.
Yours is good. Yours is good.
You don't need you can't just walk. I have 1,000 pencils and
Perfect.
like
Everybody else good?
I need one. It landed in my kid.
Alright, so we're rounding this number to the nearest thousand. So the first thing to do is write the number down, right? So we have 36,219, right? I forgot. I gotta do this in dark, big numbers. 36,219. I gotta do it in big highlighter, otherwise it won't show up as a camera. first step is rounding the nearest thousand, right?
Yeah.
Is to identify where the nearest thousand is. What's in the thousands place?
6,000.
6. All right. Now, what is the rule for rounding?
You go to the
Nearest
Jackson?
you go to the one that's that's less, like the next.
You go to the neighbor to the right.
Yeah. And then if it's 4 or less, you take the number that you're rounding to and go put the zeros after it. But if you're rounding, if it's like 5 and above, then you make the one that you're rounding to go up 1 and the zeros behind it.
So if it's 4 or below, you leave it alone. 5 or above, give it a shove. So it's a 6, right? We go next door to the right, it's a 2. Do we leave the 6 alone or do we give it a shove?
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. It's 2 is below 4, right? So we leave the 6 alone. So we put 36, and we just fill everything else with zeros. So our answer should be 36,000 when we round that number to the nearest thousands. Any questions about what we just did there? It's kind of back to the old school stuff. Yes, Miriam.
Well, you said thousands.
Yeah, it is thousands. We rounded the nearest thousands. You still gotta include the 10,000s number. Alright? I'm not asking you what digits in the thousands place, am I? I'm asking you what that number is rounded to the nearest thousands place. We can round numbers to digits that are smaller than the highest place value, can't we? We can round to the thousands even though there's a 10,000s. We could round to the hundreds even though there's 1,000 and 100,000 or 10,000s, right? You can round that way, yes.
When we were in 3rd grade, the way we got learned to round is if it's the number that you're rounding, if it's higher than 5, you change that number to the next one.
Not the number that you're rounding, the number to the right of the number you're rounding. You never would have learned it to be that one. You're not going to look at the 6 and say, oh, I'm giving it a shove. You're going to look at the number to the right of it and give it a shove. Does that make sense? You look at the number to the right of it always. Any other questions? All right. Yes, Miriam.
When are you gonna grade our quizzes? Today.
Sometime.
Today.
Look back to the nearest thousands. About how many customers does the toothpaste company survey? To the nearest thousands, how many people did it survey roughly?
36,000.
36,000.
Wouldn't the people that are getting live right now, wouldn't they just copy off our work?
Basically.
No. They're doing it with us. Number 2. You round to estimate and to make numbers easy to work with when you do not need an exact answer. What does estimate mean? Spencer?
Guessing.
Not guessing.
Like your best guess.
Not even a best guess. Take your head down, by the way.
Okay.
Not even a best guess. Mario?
Checking it?
Not so much checking. Jackson?
Your best logic guess.
I wouldn't even call it a guess. Because guessing just means just looking at it, oh, it's this. You do that with estimating, but it's a little bit more complex than that. Yes.
Estimating is, don't you as you think, you see it, isn't it something like you round, like you get it as close as that number as you can?
Yes. Can we add any more to Dallas?
It's like, so you're gonna take the number and you're not really gonna guess it, you're gonna go off of what you have.
Yes. You're going to look at the numbers. You make the numbers that you're using and make them easier to work with to get the answer. So I'm not looking for an exact answer, but I'm looking for a round answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm looking for an answer that's easy to work with. If we were talking about the toothpaste company, and we all worked at the toothpaste company, and I was running the PR,
What's a PR?
like the people that like do all the surveys and stuff, and I was running the stats, and I go up to Elena, who's the manager of the toothpaste factory, and say, hey, we went and surveyed 36,219 people. Does that number have to be exact?
No.
Or would it be just as good for me to go to Atlanta and say, hey, we surveyed 36,000 people?
36,000.
It's easier to say, it's an easy number to remember, it doesn't have to be exact, right? Now, if we were doing exact stats and she wanted the exact number, I could give her the exact number as well. But she just wants an estimation, right? Yes. So she just wants an estimation. She doesn't want the exact number. So we round it. An estimation is just is finding a close answer that does not involve a ton of work. Does that make sense? You're making the numbers easy to work with. So you use an estimation to make numbers easier to work with when you do not need an exact answer. You do not need the exact answer, you just need a roundabout answer. Something that's close. So mark and label 36,219 on the number line below. Where is 36,219 on this number line? Aiden, why don't you come up here and mark it? Where do you think it is roughly? No, you're close. Not quite though. Just call me dashes here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 dashes. What does each one of those dashes mean roughly? 100. Each one of those dashes is roughly 100. Because we're going from 36,000 to 36,500 and there's 5 dashes. That means each one's roughly 100, right?
Yeah.
So this would be 36,100. This would be 36,200. This would be 36,300, 36,400, 36,500, right? So where would the 36,219 be roughly on this number line? It'd be between what 2 dashes? Jackson?
It'd be between the second dash and the third dash.
Yeah, it'd be between the second and third.
Closer to the second dash.
It's going to be closer because it's only 19, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be somewhere like right around here.
I got it right.
So go ahead and make that mark on your number line where the 36,219 would be at.
Go another dash. That was from a wrong.
Oh, I did the same thing, didn't I? Yes. It'd be
Wait, they can see that.
1, 2. Right there roughly, right?
Yep, I got it.
Alright, between what 2 thousands is the number 36,219? Write both numbers as numerals. So what 2 thousands is it between? Dallas?
36,000
Yes.
and 37,000.
Beautiful. Is 36,219 closer to 36,000 or 37,000 on this number line? Which one's it closer to, Talon?
36,000.
36,000. The rules for rounding numbers state that if a number is exactly halfway between, you round up. If it's halfway between, we round up. What is 36,500 rounded to the nearest thousand? If the number is 36,500, where is it going to be rounded to? What thousand is it rounded to, Quade?
37,000?
Beautiful. 37,000. Because we're pushing it up, right? That's where we get our 5 and above. Give it a shove. Because 5 is always what? It's halfway between 0 and 10. 5 is the halfway point, right?
Yeah.
In a base 10 system, when we get 5 pours into one of those cups, that means we're halfway to pouring into the next one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the halfway point. Yes, Miriam?
remember, like, someone, like, they're good saying, like, when it's like 5 or 500, and you're trying to decide if it goes up or down, like, they said, like, you're not, like, going down, you're always going up because, well, maybe you are, but that's just how it is, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna always give it the shove because our rule is. So if the neighbor next door is 5 or greater, you always give it the shove. You always go up. You always give it the end. Make sense? Huh?
I get a lunch line.
If it's yeah, sure. Don't shove in the lunch line. It's not nice.
Unless
All right.
5 people waiting for them to move up. And they go, you just give a little tap like that.
All right.
No, not a tap.
Reflect. So, using the rounding rule stated in problem 2D to explain how to round. How do we round 1,550 to the nearest hundred? So I have 1,550. How do I round this to the nearest hundred? What do I gotta do first? Spencer?
So we're adding to the nearest 100.
Rounding to the nearest hundred.
So first you have to look at the 50.
No, before we even do that, what do we gotta do?
Estimate.
No. Before we even do that.
Look at that. Look at that.
What do we gotta do first, Aiden?
Look at thousands.
Not the thousands. We're rounding the nearest hundred. Mariel?
The 100.
Look at the hundreds. 100 is right here, right? Then we look at the what? Spencer?
The tens.
The tens. Now we go to the right, right? We found the hundreds. We go to the right one spot. Is it 5 or greater?
Yeah.
So we're going to give the hundreds place a what? Shove. We're pushing it up. It becomes a 6. We leave the thing to the left of it alone. What do we do to the tens and the ones? Dallas?
0.
We zero them.
Because they got nothing left.
Because they have nothing left. We gave everything they had to push the 5 up.
Yep. Bigger numbers. You stole the
All right. Any questions? We can skip the vocabulary. Skip number 1. You can do 2, 3, and 4.
Are you going to end the video?
And yes, that is the end of the video.
Give a round of applause.
Hang on.
Thank you for watching, Mr.
Hang on. I ain't done yet. I gotta get out of this.
Thank you for watching Mr. Patrick's Mathematics.
This is Mr. Patrick.
I gotta turn this off.
Hey, that's actually not
Hang on. We're not done yet.
No.
And we stop now.